Hello, it's me, Katie, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit almost kind of themed to my shirt. I didn't even notice that till I saw it in the viewfinder. But today I'm going to be doing a tutorial, as you can tell from the title. I don't normally do tutorials here on the channel, but I thought that I would start because why not? I do things, and maybe you want to learn how I do things, because I do things the Katie way, which is the lazy, impatient way, and maybe you want to learn the lazy, impatient way. So today we're going to be painting a galaxy. It's kind of themed to my Patreon. So for the month over on Patreon, the theme was Celestial, and I've been doing all sorts of galaxy themed things, and if you're interested in any of the prints, originals, stickers, charms, etc., you can click the link up here to check all of that out. You have to sign up before the end of January to get January's rewards, so if you haven't already, sign up. Anyway, now that I'm done with that spiel, let's get into the tutorial, and let's paint a galaxy. Did I ever tell you that the painting was a galaxy? I'm not sure. I think I just kind of segued into Patreon and forgot about it. But anyway, we're painting a galaxy today. For materials, it's pretty simple. You're going to need a paintbrush. I would recommend a big-ish brush if you're doing a large area. And if you're doing a really large area, I would recommend a wash brush so you can get all of that water really quickly. I'm actually going to be using a wash brush, and then I'm going to be using this smaller brush to put in the paint. You're obviously going to need some water. I've got a water bucket here with kind of clean water. One side's clean, one side's dirty. It's fine. Again, we're doing this the lazy, impatient way, and I just had water sitting over there, so we're using that. Then I'm using my paints. This is an old koi palette that has a bunch of different paints in it now, from Daniel Smith to Lucas to Holbein. And yeah, and then we're just going to be using a palette, and that's all you need. You need paper, brushes, water, paint. Pretty simple. We're going to start out with our semi-clean water. I don't even know if it's clean or not. And I'm just going to, it's not. You can kind of tell it's dirty. It's fine. This won't matter. And we're just going to paint the area that we want a galaxy. And it literally does not matter. Just throw the water on here. We're just tossing it on. And I can't really see the edges here, so we're just going to make sure it's covered, and then we're good to go. Then I'm going to wet my smaller brush. And I'm going to pick out my colors. I kind of already know what's in this palette, so what you're going to want to do is, I need to talk fast because this water's dry. So we're going to do a galaxy like I already mentioned, and I want to start out with my lightest color because I'm working in watercolor. So that means whatever color you want to be like an accent color, or like the fancy, you know how like some people have like the pink swirl in the middle or green or whatever. Pick that color first. So we're going to do a couple galaxies because I want to show you multiple like galaxies. So we're going to start out with pink, and I actually kind of want to use this opera rose I've got going on over here. So I'm just going to like sponge it in here. We're just like do a scribble. I mean, that's pretty much it. Actually, I'm going to need to get more of this out. And yeah, we're just going to grab more of that paint. And again, we're just going to like bloop it in there. And if you find it's not flowing, grab some more water and just like throw it on top. And since we're doing this the lazy, impatient way, we're just going real fast. And now that you've made a really weird looking blob, you can do one of two things. You can just start adding more water to help it move, which is what I'm going to do, or you can go in with another color. I'm noticing this is kind of drying in some spots, so I'm just going to go in. Alright, then you're going to work with your midtone. So mine is going to be a purple, and I'm using whatever purple this is. I think it's like a core dioxazine violet, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to put it in a lot of these white areas. Wow, that was really pretty. Okay. Core uses Aquazol. I think that's what it is, Aquazol. And it's amazing. So we're just like literally putting this wherever the heck we want. If you think it needs some purple right here, by golly, put it right there. And pretty much we're just kind of throwing it in the middle, because you don't want this to look like a big old blob with nothing in it. You want to break it up with the purple. Alright, another thing I'm going to do is, since this is drying, I'm going to kind of fan out the edges here with just some clear water. Because like I said, it's drying and I didn't go fast enough. That's what happens when you talk. Then you're gonna want to go in with like a dark blue color. I have no idea what color this is. I want like a Prussian-y blue, or maybe even a Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray would work here. And then we're just gonna put it on the very edges. Whatever like dark blue, navy color you grabbed, we're using that. Mix it with that purple if you want. Just like, the world is your oyster. You do whatever you want. This is your galaxy, and you get to paint it how you want. And if you don't like it, do another one. Galaxies are really fun. You're literally just like throwing paint on a paper. And it starts out kind of wonky looking, and it kind of makes itself into a really pretty color. So like, now I'm gonna bring some of this darker blue very sparingly into the purple and the pink. Less in the pink and a little bit more in the purple, just because I want to break it up. Grab more paint and water if you need to. If you want to make it darker, grab more paint. If you want to make it lighter, grab more water. I'm gonna kind of bring that blue across there. And I'm finding it looks a little light in some of the areas, so I'm going to darken them up. But I'm also going to grab some more of that dioxazine purple, and I'm just going to like throw it in some of the other areas. Maybe mix it with some of this blue. Look at that. That's so pretty. It helps make it even darker too, so if you're going for a really dark galaxy. Now try to keep in mind that you don't want to go over this pink too much unless you're using more pink, which is what I'm about to do. So I'm going to grab more of this pink and I'm just going to plop it back in there. Oh, I grabbed way too much. That's okay. And maybe add it in some of the other areas to diversify. We like diversity here. And my paper's kind of coiling up, so if yours does that, find an empty space and kind of push it down a little bit. And then a couple more. Alright, and for the last bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some drops of water. So I just got water on my brush, and I'm just going to tap it onto the paper. Just to lighten up some areas, maybe push around some granulation. Those are always really fun. If you can get the paint to push itself out, I love that. Like, again, to each their own. You do you. If you don't like that look, don't do it. But if you do like that look, have fun and just go for it. Alright, and then I'm going to add, I'm looking at this, and some of this needs to be a little darker. And then when you're happy, and only when you're happy, you can stop and let it dry. And then we'll do the stars afterwards. Those are the most fun. So yeah, and again, galaxies are super easy. They're probably one of my favorite things. But we'll do another one while we wait for this one to dry. I'm going to do this on the other side. Again, just like last time, we're just throwing water on here. I'm not going to talk as much with this one because I'm not really teaching you much different of a story here. And then instead of purple, I'm going to go in with this like really light green color. And I'm going to mix it with some of this yellow. This palette is really, really dry. However, I'm going to start out with the yellow. So we're just going to, we went this way last time, we're going to go the other way. And again, just like scrub your brush on there. Just like go crazy. Doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, it looks better when it's not perfect, so just go for it. Because galaxies all look different. They're all going to be very different. Now, I'm also going to go in with like a Viridian color here, just to be my like mid-tone. Just doing the same thing we did last time, just kind of going crazy with the dabbing motions. Just like, oh. And see, if you don't have a lot of time and you just want to throw something on paper, this is like the best way to do it. Because you're just like throwing things. And it's only taken me like, I've only been filming for less than 10 minutes. We've already pretty much finished one galaxy and we're working on another. To help it move around, I'm going to throw some water in here because for some reason some of these paints aren't moving at all. and that's okay. Some paints move more than others. Sometimes it's the paper, sometimes it's the paint. It doesn't really matter that much because all you gotta do is add some water and it's fine. And then we're gonna go in with another blue. This time I'm not gonna go as dark as I did last time. I'm just gonna, I don't even know what color this is. It is a blue. Like, I have no idea. And we're gonna mix it in with some of that Viridian. We're going to just make it plain by itself. That's a nice little puddle right there. And then just kind of put it in there. Just pow. Mix it in, kind of go into some of these little green spots here. If you want it even darker, again, you can go in with like a Payne's gray. I want it to be a little darker here and maybe here. Get that puddle to move a little bit just by moving my paper. I don't even know if you can see this. Can you see this? Anyway, all right, so looking at it, I'm finding that some areas are a little lighter than I want, so I'm gonna go back in with this Viridian here and just darken up the areas that I want a little darker. I mean, it's your art. You make the galaxy that you want. I don't really know how else to say that. Oh, this one's really pretty. Again, for granulation effects, if there will be any, like sometimes you don't get those blooms, sometimes you do. Depends on the paint and how quickly you get these water droplets in there. But I'm just going to drop a few. And actually, as you can see, some of this is drying. It's already kind of doing the little blooms. Ooh, we got a nice one right there in the center. And then, because I can, I'm going to go in with a little bit of that lighter green and just kind of play around in some of these light spots here. And I'm finding that this spot right here doesn't have as much lightness. So there are two things you can do. You can either dab it out with a paper towel or do what I did because I'm lazy and I don't want to grab my paper towel. Just go over it with more yellow. And then you can also add a little bit more water to help lighten it up. And then, ta-da! There's your two galaxies. And literally under, well, I started painting less than 15 minutes ago. So like, I've already done these in 15 minutes. It does not take long. You can just like throw paint in there. It's super fun. All right, I'm gonna let these dry and then we're gonna come back and add some really fun stars. Okay, so now that we're back, I'm going to take a palette. We're gonna take some fluid acrylic. You can use white watercolor, white gouache. You can use just regular white acrylic and water it down. I'm just gonna be using fluid acrylic just to make my life easier because remember, we're lazy. And I'm going to take my brush, just the smaller brush that I was using, and get it wet but not soaking wet. I'm gonna like wipe it off and then I'm going to just, yeah, I'm just gonna fill it up with water. Not with water, this is paint. And we're just gonna tap it on the handle of the other brush. And it's gonna give us that nice galaxy spray. We're gonna do the same thing over here. And we're just gonna keep going until we're happy, so. This is very messy, you will get it everywhere. Another way you can do this if you don't wanna tap your brush to make a mess, you can just tap your actual handle, holding it really like tightly. I'm pretty sure I just got some on my forehead, which is nice. This is a lot quieter. And if you want bigger splotches, you can water your paint down. So basically the waterier it is, the more little paint dots you're gonna get. And yeah, again, just do this until you're happy. I'm going to do it a little bit more. I want to get some concentrated clusters, so I'm going to get a little closer to the paper. Oh, I got some like actual paint splatters. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's part of the galaxy now. It's fine. paint all over my arm. That's fine. I'm going to take a smaller brush. I've just got this little like round 2. And I'm just going to go in with that same acrylic mix. And on some of the bigger splotches, I'm just going to make some little stars. Just some little like pluses, X's, whatever you want to call them. And you can do this however you want. Wherever you want. Wherever you think looks nice. If you want, you can even add some specific larger dots. And then again, same to this one. And I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can add little shooting stars. I think that's what I might turn this into. Just like a little shooting star. I'm just gonna feather it out with my finger. You can do, I mean, pretty much anything you want, like I said. The world is your oyster. Have fun. This is your galaxy. And then, yeah, you can add constellations if you want. You can add a UFO, I don't know. You can add whatever you want, but these galaxies are really fun and they're just really simple and they don't really take a lot of time at all. I think both of these galaxies together took me a total of 20 minutes, so that's super fun and I hope that you make a ton of galaxies. If you do, tag me on Instagram or Twitter. I would love to see them and yeah, these are really fun and I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. It was really chill and it was just honestly, if you're lazy or impatient, this is the tutorial for you. So anyway, if you like me doing these kind of like lazy, impatient tutorials, let me know in a comment down below. If you have anything specific you would like to see lazily done, let me know. I said lazily done really weird, but let me know in a comment as well. Yeah, I want to thank you all so incredibly much for watching. You all are awesome, and I love you all so incredibly much. If you are already part of our cute squid pod, there's a subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notified on when I upload new videos. I also have social media in the links below as well as Patreon and my store and all that good stuff if you want to check it out. And speaking of my store, I'm going to go ahead and plug it really quick, but I have a store update coming on February 1st at noon, and it's going to include new charms, new stickers, new pins, new prints, just all like spring and Valentine's Day themed. So also new washi tapes. I forgot about those. Here's like a little sneak peek of those washi tapes. Don't forget, store update happens on February 1st. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out. All right. Until the next video, I love you all so much. Toodaloo!